Hey guys, welcome back to Cubic Fox. The thing is that I got into cubing and my channel name was Fun Stuff for Kids, and I decided to change it to Cubic Fox. So today I'm going to show you how to solve a 5x5 Rubik's Cube. So let's go ahead and scramble it. And there. Let's do it off camera. Oh, whoops. And there we go. If you never solved this 5x5 version of the Rubik's Cube before, it may seem really hard. I'm going to teach you a really easy method. So to start, find the white centerpiece. Of course, on a 5x5, centerpieces don't move. Well, on even layered cubes, you have to get the color scheme correct because there's no middle center. Anyway, let's begin. So start by making this middle bar by attaching these sort of centers like the edge ones. So we've got one here, we can attach another one there. Then what you want to do is make the two other bars around it. So we're going to find two of these. We've got this that could go there, so just move it up, turn it 180 degrees, and move it back down, layer a bar, and you can attach it. Make pieces on the top there, bring the unsolved slot, move it down. Then you can just flip it like that, and you can attach the last one there, and just attach it to your center. Next is the yellow center. When we move anything up there, you need to turn it so that there's an unsolved slot so you can move it back down. So we're going to make the middle bar again, which I already did. Then make these two sidebars and attach them. So I'm on the middle layer. Let's make our bar. And then there we go, we can attach it, but when you attach it, white gets broken with that bar. So move it 180 degrees and you can move it back down. And do the same thing for the other bar, just make it. Once you make it, don't move it up here because even if you turn it 180 degrees, if you move it back down, it's just broken. So what I want to do is get them onto the same side. So left, left. Then move it up, turn it 180 degrees, and when you move it back down, the yellow center will be made. Next, we'll be doing these middle centers, which isn't hard. But there are tricky steps, like for the last two centers, you have to do a swapping algorithm. So yeah, first one you want to do is start with blue or any center you want. I'm not going to start with red, I'm just doing blue. And we need to preserve that bar, and we need to make the middle bar. So we can just attach that. We've got our middle bar. Can just attach that, and you can just 180 degrees attach that and store it. So just the same thing as the white center. So attach that, and you got your blue center done. And then we can attach this to make a middle bar, but you need to move it to the unsolved slot so we can restore the blue. Then you can just move that up, turn it 180 degrees, and move it back down, because we need that edge center thing known as plus centers. But first we might want to attach that bar 180 degrees, move it up. So you just attach that there. That gets the bar away, so we can just restore it. And again, bring it all to the same side and move it back, move it down, turn it 180 degrees, and move it back up. Now we'll be doing the green center. So just move that bar there, and you need to restore this two centers, so just turn it once and there. Then we've got this bar, so we can move it down 180 degrees and move it up. This is a weird case, so what you can do is just move that up, move it in the way of the bar, and move it back down. Now, this might be a little bit tricky to do, so I'm going to teach you a way that can easily get this piece down here. Well, this is the corner center case. There might be an edge center case, so I want to talk about that later. So what I want to do, this isn't one whole algorithm, so you have to know the pattern. It's pretty easy. So align them like this, not like this, like this. You can do this in the lefty version. Oh, whoops. Or righty version. I just learned it the righty, so I'm just going to do it. Move it down into its slot, move it into this layer, move that down, and move this into the other layer, move that up, and you can move this in the way of that green bar, and you can move it up. And there we go, we have completed our last two centers. All the centers to be exact. Now I'm going to show you another case. Oh, whoops. There. So I'm going to get that case by doing the algorithm of it, so. Oh, I messed up. There. Now you might get this case, so what you want to do is do it in righty or lefty. I learned it in lefty version, so you can align them like this, then move it down, move it into the slot where there's the innermost layer, move that down also. Get to the other layer, move that up, and I can turn it and move that up too. Once you're done the centers, we're going to get these edge pairs, or should I say edge triplets, because 1, 2, 3. Well, you could really call them edge pairs on 4x4 because 1, 2, and that's a pair. So yeah. Let's pair up all the edges. Triple up. Or whatever. Let's get into it. So, before any edge pairing, you need to know an algorithm. It's a flipping algorithm, and it goes like this. It's pretty easy to memorize. R, U, R prime, F, R prime, F prime, R. You can memorize that move by move. It's pretty easy. Another one. And what the flipping algorithm does is that it changes these two around, and it flips the middle edge. And on something bigger, like a 7x7, it just swaps these two around, flipped, and it flips the middle edge. On a 9x9, it's the same thing. Swaps these edge triplets around in flip directions and flips the innermost edge. So that's what it does. So let's start with our first edge pair. You can have white and yellow on bottom, white and yellow. Then what I want to do is find one middle edge. So I prefer doing all the whites and making a white cross. So just get that middle edge and get the two wings, or shall I say edges around it. So we've got one. And if green is here and white is here, that means they pair up. But if that's the opposite, they don't pair up. So what I want to do is get them in these directions and move this bottom slot over. That breaks up the centers, but no worries. Let's just flip it, and we can move it back. And there you go, an edge pair. So let's get that one. It's in the correct place, so we can move the top over and flip it. And you can move it into the bottom cross. There you go. So let's go ahead and do the rest of them. So let's do red. You have one attached. Nice. And the other might be a bit tricky, but there you go. If it's on if it's double layers away from this place, so if you bring it here, it'll still be red. So what I want to do is move the top slot twice, flip it, and move it back. There you go. And just move it into the center so we can get these two to pair up. So just flip this and move this top slot over, double 2 times, flip it, and just move it back, and we got it paired up. So you can move this in by doing this. So those 4 moves. The bottom slot over, flip it, move it back. So straightforward, do all the edges like that. I prefer doing all the yellows. So just make the yellow cross. You can repeat that until the last 4. So I'll be right back. But if you see a case like this, then move this middle edge somewhere else, flip it, and when you move it back, it'll be paired. We're back. So I'm on to the yellows, so I was just doing blue and yellow. There we go. Once you get to the last yellow cross edge, don't move it up here because you need to restore the whites. And if you replace it with something else, it'll just go down. So what I want to do is place it in a solved slot, move that up, move the unsolved slot to where this is going to go, and move it back down. Out. And there. We've got the yellow cross edges and the white cross edges complete. So first 8 edges. Nice. Now we have to do the last one, which is going to be a bit tricky once you get to the last 2. Well, let's just do it. So we can have that. So let's just do it. That over, flip it. Do the next one. Oh, there. So I'll do this off camera. Once you get to the last 2, and have all the rest of it done, all 10, you might get something looking like this, but that's not important. You can basically move that over, flip it, move it back, and you've got this case. And you can just solve it. And then there's a 50% chance you'll have finished all the edges. The other 50% chance you'll get 1 flipped edge. Now don't move it to another slot and flip it because it changes these around, and when this comes back, it'll be wrong. So this is called parity, and it requires the parity algorithm, which goes like this. There are RW and LW moves. So W moves will just be ignored, so R prime, L, L prime, and yeah. So it goes like this. R, U2, and the X move, which means rotate the cube so you're facing the thing at the bottom. Then R, U2, R, U2. Then 3R prime, which means pull 3 layers down. U2. Then L, U2, R prime, U2, R, U2, R prime, U2, R prime. And that solves it. And there's a chance you can get this case. So let me quickly make it. This is what I call double parity, but all I gotta do is move 1 slot over, flip it, and once you move it back, it'll be solved. Then you can just go and solve it like a 3x3. And it's solved. I hope this tutorial helped you. Subscribe and like.